Dallas here with guest Ben Storm here from the Lost Monarchs and many other projects here. We're going to talk a little bit about bass technique, something new for this channel, but just kind of want to get it out there for anyone who might be picking up bass. So with Ben here, I wanted to take advantage of showing off some different ways to view your right hand playing as a bassist. So I'm going to kind of let Ben take over and drive from here. I'm going to still be here, but Ben, why don't you go through some of the different techniques you were displaying in the intro as far as from what you're thinking from a right hand perspective. Let's not worry too much what you're doing on your left, because I think right now we just want to focus on your different approaches. Yeah, so sure. Dive in, my friend.
All right, I'll keep it simple. So back in the day, in the 70s, this reggae sound was established by Bob Marley's bassist, whose name is totally escaping me now, and I guarantee the comment section will be screaming with who it is once you watch the video. But this trick right here, where you take your thumb and you plant it right where that fretboard, almost where it ends, right where it ends, and you get this sort of softer sound. Now, I like to take my tone down all the way. You get a muted sound. It's softer and it's a little less controlled, but you can still go like this. But generally I'll use it for when I'm trying to find a quiet or a deep bass line, right? Okay, so that's more for like when I'm in reggae or something along those lines. Now, when I go to my next step, you notice how I've got this panel stretching over my pickup, and it's a metal panel, and it actually has nothing to do with the pickup itself. It's really just a hand rest. And there's a fella named Marcus Miller, amazing bass player. I got inspired by him, and he likes to use it as his guidepost when he slaps, right? Now, he slaps in a different style than I do, but I still use his technique because it's really nice to be able to rest your hand there while you're doing. Right?
And Ben, if you don't mind, maybe show and talk a little bit about how you're coming down and up for your slap technique there.
Okay, so dig into the slap technique a little bit. What I'm basically doing is, right? So it's I'm doing like almost like a note that doesn't belong there, but it's more like a much more like, right? Same idea, very flea style of bass playing is where I got my right hand slap technique. Marcus Miller does a thumb technique.
The reason why I wanted to kind of expand on that for a second was I, on this channel, talk a lot about picking patterns, and that does kind of fall into picking pattern territory, because you're kind of coming down and up at the same, not at the same time, but within the, like within that same technique. Yeah. And I do a lot of that kind of stuff, right? So you know, so I'll talk about that on the channel. So I kind of wanted to expand on that. So keep going. Talk about a couple more of these techniques that you have with your right hand, my friend.
For sure. Okay, so then now you pick up a pick. I don't know if you're a bass player that likes a pick or not. I like both. Whatever works for the song, honestly, I'll do. So now with this unique little rest, you notice what I haven't run into is you're not hearing any click clacks on the pickup, right? When I'm resting my hand here, I don't have to rest my hand on the string.
That's so huge.
It's
so huge.
And it makes
a difference. I hate that sound when you
it's like and then you get too close to the pickup and it sounds a little bit too much, like you're putting too much drive into it. Yeah. And this is a passive bass. So we're not talking about active electronics, but this is a fairly aggressive set of pickups, these Allen drums.
And bottom line is, I don't know about you, but as a player, I don't want to purposely pick somewhere else because I'm getting a weird sound if that's where my comfort zone is to pick. Now, there are times where you're purposefully coming way down or way up for technique for a certain effect. But like for my just everyday picking, I don't want to have to be like, oh, I have to scoot back 3 inches because there's a, you know what I mean? That to me, you have to adjust like your whole style. That's hard.
And that's part of my style. What I kind of built my style on was because in the band that we were in, we were playing a lot of different, like hybriding other styles into our sort of general rock style, but we had a lot of hybrids in there. So I'd have to be able to play a reggae song or a song that was a slap pop song or a song that was more driving rock. So in that vein, the driving rock thing, having this rest here, watch. You can just sit there with, that's a very punkish sounding riff, but you can just sit there resting your hand, but working really fast. And that's really the trick, is to never put out too much energy when you're playing, right? Just enough to make the sound just right, because you want to conserve it for, all the peaks and the valleys and everything that you're going to experience as you're performing, right? Now, I take the pick again, and I'm going to show you the other picking technique. Now, this just gets you a sharper sound, and this is where you have to be careful a little bit, because I'm going to be right above my pickup, so that's where you want to, and the tension is high down here, which is fortunate, so you don't get too much floppiness. Then you get more like a, and you get kind of more of a gritty sound. Now, I would maybe throw some distortion on that, or a little like tube drive or something like that, and get more of almost a Lemmy sound, a little bit of a Motorhead kind of sound. But then
we all know who Lemmy is, bro.
Right? I mean, he is a demigod. I mean, really. And the last one is just my 2-fingered method. And this is, again, why I love this thing. It really should be, this whole video should be about why I love this, honestly. But my big fat thumb sets perfectly right there. Look at that. It sets in that little notch right there, and then look where you can be.
You're in Groove Land, baby.
Right? You're in control. You can stop. You can mute. You can do your... Right? You can get that going, right? Right? You can get that funky sound. And you can also do the doubles here, but I like it down here because the tension is perfect right between these two pickups. Now, mind you, I'm playing a Fender Jazz. This is a Mexi build, a recent one. It's the Player Jazz, so it's like a couple years old. But it's the OG. It's the OG style. The pickups, I'd say, are a little bit more gritty. Like I said, a little more aggressive than the standard Jazz of yesteryear, 10 years ago or whatever. But it's a great bass, and passive is my way to go, honestly, because I love the natural tone of the bass, right, without pumping up anything unnaturally. But anyway, so that's a little bit about my awesome. 5 techniques of the right hand on the bass.
That's killer, Ben. I really appreciate Ben coming by to not just lend a hand, jamming, and obviously we're doing other things today, but I figured while we're here to also do a couple instructional videos on some bass techniques. I thought this would be really cool because it's just outside of my wheelhouse. Some of it I kind of know, from playing guitar and understanding the basic concept of your right versus your left hand and the different techniques involved, but to actually have a actual bassist here to kind of show how that works on the bass is really nice. So if you're a bass player, if you're looking to get into bass playing, that's a good place to start, is just kind of, how to attack it with your right hand. So hope you guys enjoyed this video and the guest spot by Mr. Ben Storm.
Hey, bass players come on back.
Bass players come back, and much love, you guys. I appreciate you all. Like, subscribe, share if you'd be so kind, and we'll see you on the flip. Later.